there are a lot of players, a lot of fans, excuse me, because as I say, and forgive me for my American soccer description of it, but there are lots of soccer fans growing in America, or the fandom of soccer is growing in the United States. And of course, national pride is something that drives us to go to the television or our phones, our computers to watch these matches. But tell me some of the other guys that, as believers, we should be watching to see them display what they do for the King's return.
There's many. There's many. I think there are 48 teams at this tournament. This is the largest World Cup tournament in history. There never has been so many teams in one tournament. And we've narrowed it down. We've seen and kind of done the maths. We think there's believers in about 37 of those, 38 countries,
It's incredible.
which is unbelievable. Um, and so there are many. There are many, and I think you've seen already from those who have been highlighted in the nations of Curacao, the smallest nation, population of 150,000 people, made it to the World Cup, a real David and Goliath story. Although they lost the opener against Germany 7-1, they scored, which is huge. The first time in the history of their nation that they made it to World Cup and also scored. And prior to this World Cup, you would have seen, if you look online, there's been evangelistic outreaches in the national team, worship sessions amongst the nation, prayer daily, led by the spiritual captain of the team, Kenji Gore. And also in Germany, you see a player called Felix Nemecha. I believe he'll be one of the breakout stars of this tournament. But more than that, he's a man who loves Jesus. And he's the first one to do the crowns down celebration. And so there are many in Belgium, in England, in France. There's too many to name. I would just say, don't only look out for it, pray. Pray that these players will be bold, that the Lord would cause them to really use this platform to point people to Jesus. And because there are many, which is so encouraging. And so, yeah, the King's return is something that we desire the world to know about, and for it to go viral, that the Lord get all the glory.
Well, you and I love Jesus. We're both people who love God, and then we also have a very strong feeling for sports. I'm going to ask you this when this airs. We'll be getting ready to turn the calendar to July, but I'm going to ask you to give me your prediction. Now, you don't have to tell me the team that's going to win, but at least give me two teams that you think are going to be there come mid to late July.
Okay. Um, Being a Brit, I would love it to come home. I would absolutely love England to be in the final and for it to come home. I think we are strong enough to go the whole way. So I would definitely say or hope that England would be in the final, especially because there's some brothers in Christ I would love to see lift that trophy. Um,
How many? Let me ask you. How many on England?
the thing is, I know we like to put numbers on things, but the players that we know, I believe there are about four believers, but also there's some that maybe we don't know where they're at in their faith.
Sure.
And so I know that there are at least four, maybe five, who have professed faith, and yeah, they love Jesus. And so I would love to see England play Germany in the final. I would love that because, like I said, there's believers in both teams. But ultimately, I would love to see the Lord put the World Cup in someone's hands who will point away from themselves and point to Jesus. That's my goal. That's our prayer, and we're hoping to see it.
And I don't know if we mentioned it or not, and we'll have this information on the screen as well. But the King's return. Where can people get more information?
So you can find the King's Return on socials. You can find on Instagram at underscore the King's Return, on X, on Facebook, and also via the website, thekingsreturn.com. These are ways you can connect. We also encourage people to be praying. Like you mentioned, we're estimated to see this World Cup interact with 5 to 6 billion people. And so never has there been an opportunity for this like the gospel through a sporting event. And so prayers are needed. We're believing what we're seeing in the world of sports now is a result of prayer and faithfulness of men and women who have been really interceding and standing in the gap to see his kingdom come and his will being done. So yeah, you can check us out on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, and on the website.
the sovereign God of the universe who created you, he created me, he created the heavens and the earth, knows soccer. He knows football. And it's no coincidence because this God is not surprised by anything that nearly 6 billion people will be tuning into this World Cup. He has plans. He has plans. If it's only for one person, which I would be surprised if that's the case, but if it's just for one person, then that is his plan. And John, man, I love what you're doing. I love your ministry and would encourage you just to continue on. And for our listeners, be praying for him. Be praying for the players as they go out there, like he said, to boldly proclaim their love of Christ. And John, I just want to thank you so much for stopping by today.
Oh, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
If you enjoyed Fuel the Fire, we just ask that you share it with a friend, a family member, a coworker. Our goal is to reach the world with the gospel through sports. We're hoping that we are able to do that. And if you are interested in hearing one-on-one conversations with athletes from a biblical worldview, check out CBN Sports One-on-One. Subscribe to this one, subscribe to that one. That's a small way that you can help us. And you can watch this podcast on YouTube. Hopefully you're watching it right now. We have feature stories with athletes, as well as video shorts that we think you're going to enjoy. And we're on social media. On Instagram, we're at CBN Sports _. Just search for us on Facebook, on X, and on TikTok. We're everywhere. So we're hoping that we can share the love of Jesus by enjoying the sports that he's created us to enjoy. In the meantime, we'll see you next week.